Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to serve up a complete breakdown of tennis. We're going to take you from the sidelines right onto the court so you feel totally confident to play your first game.
You know that feeling, right? You watch a match and think, man, I'd love to try that. But then you start thinking about the rules, the gear, and it just feels overwhelming. Well, this is for you. We're going to change all that by walking through everything you need to know step by step.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll kick things off with why tennis is such a killer workout. Then we'll get you geared up. After that, we are going to totally demystify the rules and that kind of famous, unique scoring system before finally putting it all together so you can walk out and play your first match.
Okay, so first things first, why even pick up a racket? Well, besides being a ton of fun, tennis offers this really powerful combination of benefits for both your body and, you guessed it, your brain.
See, tennis engages you on every level. Physically, it's this super dynamic workout that builds agility and coordination. But the mental game, that's where it really shines. It's often called high-speed chess for a reason. You're constantly analyzing, planning, making these split-second strategic decisions. It's a true full body and mind workout.
So, you're motivated to play, right? The great news is you don't need a truckload of expensive equipment to get started. Let's just look at the absolute essentials.
The barrier to entry is surprisingly low. You really only need 4 things: a racket that feels good in your hand, a ball, and of course, a court. But pay close attention to this 4th item: proper tennis shoes. Seriously, don't just grab your running shoes. Tennis is all about constant side-to-side movement, and only real tennis shoes give you the lateral support you need to protect your ankles. Trust me on that one.
All right, now for the rules. I know they can seem intimidating when you're watching from the sidelines, but the core of the game really just comes down to a few simple principles. We're going to cover the 3 you absolutely have to know.
Rule number 1 is simple. Keep it in the lines. So, in a one-on-one match, what we call singles, the ball has to land inside the court's inner boundaries. And here's a little pro tip for beginners. If any part of the ball just nicks the line, it counts. It's in.
Now, this rule is what gives tennis its awesome pace. Once that ball comes over to your side of the court, you have until the second bounce to hit it back. You can hit it after 1 bounce, or if you're feeling a little bold, you can hit it right out of the air before it even bounces. That's called a volley.
Okay, think of the net as a strict, almost electrified divider. If your racket, your shirt, any part of you touches it while the point is live, the point is immediately over, and you lose it. So yeah, keep your distance.
All right, deep breath. This is the part that confuses most beginners, but I promise, by the end of this section, the whole unique scoring system of tennis is going to be crystal clear. Let's do this.
Okay, so instead of counting 1, 2, 3, tennis uses its own special language for points. 0 is called love. Your first point is 15, your second is 30, and your third is 40. Now, if you win a 4th point, you win the game, but there's a catch. You have to be ahead by at least 2 points.
Here's a key piece of court etiquette that's also a hard rule. Whoever is serving always announces their score first. So if you're the one serving and you win that first point, you'll call out 15 love. If you lose it, you say love 15. Simple as that.
So, what happens if both of you get to 40? Well, that's when the real drama begins. A 40-40 tie is called deuce. And from here, you can't win by just scoring 1 more point. Nope, you have to win by 2.
So how do you break that tie? Well, if you win the point right at deuce, you get what's called advantage. If you then win the very next point, boom, you win the game. But, and this is a big but, if you lose that point when you have advantage, the score just resets right back to deuce, and you got to start the process all over again.
Okay, you know why. You should play, you have the gear, and you actually understand the rules and scoring. Now let's put it all together and walk through the sequence of playing your very first match.
A match follows a really simple, fair sequence. First, you decide who serves. You can just spin a racket for that. The server starts the game from the right side of the court, and then you just alternate sides to reach point. Once a game is over, the serve switches to the other player. And finally, to keep things fair with the sun or the wind, you'll switch ends of the court after every odd-numbered game.
So, you're winning points to win games. Makes sense. The bigger goal of the match is to win sets. And a set is won by the first player to win 6 games. As long as they have a 2-game lead, of course.
And there you have it. I mean, from gear and boundaries to that quirky scoring system, you now have all the fundamental knowledge you need to step onto a court. You're not just a spectator anymore. You are officially ready to play.
You know, the theory part is over. You now speak the language of the court. The only thing left to do is to go experience the game for yourself. So who are you going to challenge for your first point, your first game, your first set? Go find out.